My biggest goal for 2023 is honestly just to make that money. Okay, let's see if I can film this before I gotta go to work. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am doing a Q&A, as you can see from the title. It is a new year. Happy 2023. Also, thank you to everyone that asked me questions. I really appreciate it. Okay, starting off, what is your biggest goal in 2023? I wrote down a few because, I don't know, I'm not super into like resolutions and things like that, but a few of my goals this year, I definitely want to be as consistent as I possibly can with my YouTube channel. I really want to try and grow this as much as possible this year. I feel like I say that every year, but I don't know. With 2022, I feel like my growth was not very, it was very, so I would love to do that. And I would also love to get back into working out, just because when I'm not working out, I start to feel it in my body. I have a lot of wrist problems, I have neck and back problems, so when I'm not working out, that starts to show itself. So I want to get a little bit more consistent with that. I'm not going to be super strict about it or anything, but just consistent. Next question is favorite cake. I honestly am not a big cake person in general. But if I had to think of a favorite cake, it would either be a confetti cake, I love a confetti cake, or a cake that has fruit in it. It's definitely not my first choice, but if there's cake and it's either one of those things, I'm gonna be eating it. So I got this question a couple times, but it's, do I have any travel plans in 2023? I do, actually. In February, which is next month, we're going to Mexico. I'm very excited. I might be going to Vegas in March. I still haven't decided on that. And then I'm going to a wedding in the Bay Area in May, and then another wedding in June in Puerto Vallarta. I think that's all on my list now. I'm sure there will be more, but that's all I have planned for right now. Someone asked, what is my age and occupation? So if you could believe it, I am 28. I will be 29 this year in June. Crazy, I'm getting old. And my occupation is a hairstylist. So I'm currently a hairstylist. I do work for myself, so I get to set my own schedule and all of that. And it's been very rough since 2020, but that's my occupation. I do hair for a living, and I mainly specialize in guys' hair. Ooh, where do you see yourself in 5 years? That's a hard question. I think in 5 years, what would that put me at? 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 33. I would love to be very settled in with my financial situation, so I would just kind of love to have that all locked down and be very comfortable financially. I think I'd like to have a house by then. I know that's really, that seems like I'm shooting for the moon there, but I would like to have a house by then. I don't want kids then. I'll say that now. I don't see myself with kids in the next 5 years, and we're not even gonna talk about that. I think mainly I would love to see myself financially stable, possibly in a house, enjoying what I'm doing for work, and just living life. In an ideal world, I would love to be doing YouTube full-time and doing hair on the side. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Well, all that I can think about in my brain is the Tootsie Pop commercial with the owl. You know the one.
1, 2, 3.
So I'm gonna say 3. What is your cocktail of choice? Ooh, love this question. I love that I'm answering this during dry January too. I'm a vodka girly, so love vodka. I do love a mule. I think I go back and forth where I have times where like I will pretty much only order mules, like a Moscow mule, or when I get tired of that. Lately, this past year, I've been super into seltzers, which I know is not a cocktail, but that is usually my drink of choice if I'm not drinking like a Moscow Mule or taking shots. Oh, I do also love a Paloma. I really like Palomas. If I'm gonna go tequila, that's usually what I do. What is your dream vacation? My dream vacation currently is to Japan. I want to go to Japan so bad. I want to go to Tokyo. It just looks so amazing, so I would love to do that. It's so hard to say because honestly, I just want to travel and I don't really care where we go. My dream vacation besides Japan would be anywhere that I haven't been outside of the country. Any goals for your YouTube channel? I did kind of talk about this, but mainly just consistency. I do feel like I'm pretty okay with posting once a week. I've only missed a couple weeks within the almost 3 years I've been doing this. However, I would love to push myself to post twice a week, even if that means like posting a short one of the 2 days. But I really just want to be able to post more content, because the more I put out there, the likelier it is for me to grow, because you know, you never know which one is going to catch. So I definitely want to be really consistent. The second half of last year, I feel like I kind of fell off a little bit with Seattle content, and I mainly was just posting vlogs, which obviously there's nothing wrong with vlogs, but it's not very searchable. So I do think this year I want to focus more on searchable content, because I also feel like that's a good way to grow. So that's another goal of mine. Somebody asked, what is the best grilled cheese in the city? That is such a specific question. I love it. I would say you cannot go wrong with Beecher's. There is the grilled cheese at Beecher's down in Pike Place, and Beecher's cheese is like the best of the best, so you can't go wrong. Do you like motorcycles? I like the idea of motorcycles, but I could never see myself on a motorcycle, and also I feel like they're so dangerous. I don't know if that's just a stigma, but I don't think I would want anybody I love to drive motorcycles, because I've just heard a lot of things. Who is your celebrity crush? Oh, spicy. Off the top of my head, Michael B. Jordan, of course, obviously. I do also love me some Zac Efron. He's great. A$AP Rocky. Oh, and also last night we were watching A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger. Rest in peace. That man is beautiful. Oh, and then also maybe controversial. I don't know. I kind of low-key get the whole Pete Davidson thing. I get it. What made you want to get into content creating? I have always loved filming stuff and editing stuff. I've thought about it. I have old videos that my friend sent me of us just messing around with a camcorder from back in the day. I've thought about doing a reaction video to those. But yeah, I've just always loved making things. I'm such an artsy, craftsy nerd that this just falls right into my, like, I don't know. I love everything about it. I've consumed so much YouTube, like a stupid amount of YouTube since it has been a platform. And so I've kind of just always wanted to do it too. And so here we are. I decided why not actually just do it. And it's been fun and I'm loving it. And it's kind of everything I thought it was going to be. Where are you from? I am from Oregon. I'm currently in Seattle, but you know, I'm from Oregon. It's kind of same. I love the Northwest. I will definitely leave at some point, maybe live somewhere else, but I will always come back to the Northwest. I love Oregon. Would you do any collabs with Monica/Shelby Church or Sarai Jones in the future? I would love to, but I am like 100% positive that they have no idea who I am, so I don't even know how I would make that work. But that would be super dope if that was ever to be a thing that was gonna happen. I have seen Shelby before, just out and about, but I didn't want to say anything because I felt like a weirdo. Okay, so for this next question, I've thought about it a lot. How did you make new friends when you moved to Seattle? And I've decided, sorry, that I'm not going to answer it here. I am actually going to make a whole video about that, so stay tuned for that. I want to get some of my friends to kind of feature in it as well, so we'll make that happen, and I'm just going to make a whole video of how to make new friends and all of that. What is your favorite store to shop at in Seattle? I feel like I do a lot more window shopping than I do actual shopping, so just a couple places that I can think of that I have shopped at before. Standard Goods, there's one in Cap Hill and there's one in Ballard. I think they're a super fun store. They have like a bunch of random little things and like Northwest things. That's a cute store. Not a Seattle thing, but I love Uniqlo. They opened one downtown recently, which I'm super happy about, but I love shopping at Uniqlo. Fremont Vintage Mall is super fun. There is so much stuff in there, so would recommend checking it out if you like vintagey stuff. And then not a store, but I love going to University Village. They have a bunch of different shops and stuff. Some of it is a little bougie, but I like the vibe of the whole place, and there's a lot of different shops and stuff there. Or just going to Bellevue to go shopping at the malls there. So Favorite memory from 2022? Love that question. I would say my top 3 favorite memories from 2022 were taking my mom on a trip. We went to San Diego. That was amazing. And just like, I've always had trips with my dad. We do our yearly camping trip and all of that, but I've never had any sort of trip with my mom. So it was really great to be able to do that and finally take her somewhere. And we had like the best time ever. Also, a great memory was spending my birthday in Hawaii. That was so special and I was so happy. It was the first time I've ever been to Hawaii and it was everything I could have asked for on a birthday. It was amazing. And then lastly, another memory from 2022 that is very special was Thanksgiving. I had such a good Thanksgiving this year with my friends and family that I will always cherish those memories forever. And yeah, cheers to more of that in 2023. Do you think Seattle would be a good place to move? Pros and cons. I think there's a typo. It says, and Joe, affordable living there may be. I'm just assuming they're asking if there's affordable living. Do I think Seattle's a good place to move? Obviously, I do think Seattle's a good place to move. I love it here, and I think it has benefits for everybody. I've made a few videos about like looking for housing in Seattle and affordable living and all of that, so I can post those in the description. But there's definitely affordable living, you just have to look for it. It's definitely not as easily findable online as just any luxury apartments or things like that, but you can find affordable living. You just got to put a lot of work into it, aka, you know, find a room on Craigslist or look up, you know, scour through apartments.com, go out looking at apartments, check into the MFTE program. I have a video on that as well. That is, if you can get into that, that'll definitely be affordable living. It's all circumstantial at the end of the day, so affordable is very circumstantial, so it's kind of up to you to figure out your budget and what's going to work with your budget and then specifically look for that budget. How many countries have you traveled to and have you ever traveled solo? So as of right now, I have been to Canada and Singapore and Bali. Those are basically the only times I've been outside of the US, but I am going to Mexico next month, so that will add to that. And have I ever traveled solo? I have not actually traveled solo, but I would love to. That is definitely up there on my list. I really want to go to New York by myself. I'm just scared. And I also would love to travel abroad as well by myself, but I'm also scared. If any of you have traveled anywhere solo and you're a woman that's maybe close to my age, where did you go and would you recommend it? Let me know. What are your bucket list travel destinations for 2023? I don't think I'm gonna get to go to any of my bucket list destinations in 2023, but my bucket list destinations, Japan, I would love to go to South Africa, I would love to go to Iceland, I would love to go to Italy and like Barcelona, Ireland, anywhere. Take me anywhere, somebody take me on a trip. Favorite spots to eat in Seattle, like by food categories, sushi, pad thai, etc. I can name a few. I wrote a few down. Obviously there's more. This is just what I can think of off the rip. For pad thai, I wrote Bang Rack Market in Belltown. Sushi, Umisake House in Belltown. For sandwiches, I wrote Mishu, which is in Pike Place. For tacos, Carmelo's. However, I am going to Columbia City soon because I want to make a video on Columbia City, and I heard that there's a taco spot there that is the best. So that might beat out Carmelo's, but as of right now, Carmelo's. For pizza, can't go wrong with Pagliacci's. For seafood, Fremont Bowl for like poke. Ivar's for fish and chips. Bar Harbor for lobster rolls. Not food, but coffee. My favorites are Cafe Hagen or Coffeeholic. And that's all that I wrote down as of right off the top of my head. Hopefully that's helpful. If your opinion on Seattle has changed in the last 2 years and if you plan on staying or moving. Good question. Since 2020, I feel like the vibe has changed in terms of like going out and things like that. Especially too because there are a lot of places that have closed down since COVID and all of that. I don't think personally that it's changed enough for me to want to leave Seattle, at least not right now. I don't have anything that is like really making me want to leave, and I do have a lot of things that make me want to stay. But obviously in the future, I do see myself leaving Seattle, maybe moving to New York for a little bit or moving somewhere else for a little bit, but ultimately coming back. So Although I do feel like the vibe has kind of changed, I don't think it'll ever quite be the same. It's not worth it for me to leave because of that. Also, thank you to this person for asking me about crochet because I love crochet questions. It makes me so happy. But they asked, where do you find your crochet designs? And I personally actually I will scour Pinterest or Instagram or whatever and find something that I think looks cool, and then I will go on YouTube and see if there's a tutorial. And if there's not a tutorial, I'm kind of getting to the point where I have like enough basic knowledge that I can kind of pick and piece different tutorials to try to make one thing that I've seen. Sometimes it's not always successful, but it's basically, if there's a YouTube tutorial on it, that's how I find it. Ideally, I'm hoping to get a little bit more creative myself once I learn really how to do everything, and I can kind of just make my own designs, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. Let me show you what I'm currently working on while we're here. This is currently what I'm working on. It's this little top, and I literally just looked up bralette on YouTube, crochet bralette, and I found the tutorial for this. I'll post it in the description because why not? But that's basically how I find whatever I make. So yeah, perfect timing. I finished my hot chocolate right as I finished my Q&A. So it is now cold chocolate at this point. Chocolate milk. Yeah, those are all the questions that I got. Again, thank you so much to anyone who asked. But I hope you learned a little bit more about myself this year. New Year, same me as always. I'm pretty much always gonna be the same, but make sure to like and comment and subscribe, and like and comment and subscribe, and like and comment and subscribe. Happy New Year. I will see you in the next one. Bye. Okay, I need to take a thumbnail now.